So the steel that you see arriving today is for the OPV River Class programme. It's 3 offshore patrol vessels for the Royal Navy. The ships are 90 metres in length. They have a capability to do an offshore patrol just about anywhere in the world. Wincanton are a world-class logistical supplier. We want to improve the material flow that comes into the shipyard. We don't have to stockpile lots and lots of material, so the material is there at the point of use, just as we're going to use it in the production areas. In the sequence, or as close to sequence as possible that we actually use it, because the steel plate can vary in size. The inking process lines out exactly the nesting that would happen on that particular sheet of steel. Nesting is how you can get the best scales of economy out of one plate of steel, so you actually minimise the scrappage uses of that steel plate. So the laser cutting machine that we see here, it cuts a lot of lighter gauge steel that we use for things like seats or mounts that are on the ship. The reason the water is within the plasma tanks is just to keep the steel cool while the burning process is happening, and it prevents the splattering of steel across the plate, and it also helps cooling the steel so that we don't have any distortion on the steel. So the plasma cutting machine, so it's a process of cutting metal at different thicknesses using a plasma torch. An electrical arc is formed through gas from the nozzle to the surface being cut, turning some of the gases into a plasma. The plasma is sufficiently hot enough to melt the metal being cut and move sufficiently fast to blow molten metal away, giving a very clean finish. Every single piece of equipment that gets installed on the ship can be tracked at any stage of its build cycle. Now what that will do will help us to reduce the amount of equipment that either gets lost or damaged during the build process, and we see that again as a big transformational change in the way we manage and handle material. We've created workstations, one-stop shops, almost like a pit stop you would get in F1, so that everything's at hand and there's not a lot of travelling time where people are looking to source material or equipment. Everything sits and the product moves, not the people. We're now going next door to the Shipbuild Hall. So the Expo is the outfitting hall where we erect the ships in full, building undercover. What we see here today is HMS Forth. There's currently 8 units erected in the Expo at the moment. By the end of the year we will have erected 16 units. There's 17 in total on an OPV, and what that will give us by December this year is a complete ship, and you will see towards the end of the year going into next year, Ship 2 will start to populate one of the bays here. Standing here now, we're on HMS Forth, ships in construction within the Expo. Both engines were delivered to the ship last week, and they're now in place within the engine room in the heart of the ship. The ship is going through its construction phase as we bring each of the units. The key part of this is we make sure of all of the major lockout equipment then goes into the ship as we construct the ship. These ships will be new to the Royal Navy, however they're not new to other world navies. We have 3 ships operating in Brazil. The Brazilian Navy are very proud of the ships that they have, and the utilisation of these ships is very intense in Brazil. We also have this class of ship being built in Thailand. We're looking to extend that licence agreement with other world navies. The ships for the Royal Navy have had 28 different enhancements to the original class of ship, from the strengthening of the flight deck so that it can receive a Merlin helicopter, to putting a new BE Systems command system in, and the new shared infrastructure platform will also go on this ship. We have enhanced it significantly for the Royal Navy. The people you see here today have been part of the huge success story we've seen in the Queen Elizabeth class aircraft carrier programme. There's a huge amount of pride that's been put into building those flagships for the Royal Navy, and that pride transfer across into the OPVs, because it doesn't matter whether we're building the biggest ship that we've ever built or one of the smallest ships for the Royal Navy we've ever built. The pride just seeps through all the time. People in this naval ships business are very proud to be associated and be part of building warships for the United Kingdom and for the Royal Navy.